Welcome to Lifestyle Buzz Today with Orlando. Fresh, innovative, entertaining talk about topics we are all in one way or another involved with. And now, here's your host, Orlando Burgos.
Well, hello, boys and girls. Welcome to Lifestyle Buzz, the connection for better living, or also the antidote for boring radio. I'm your host and forever friend, Orly, and I have been absent for a few weeks in beautiful and friendly Costa Rica, tending to family matters. And boy, am I glad to be back. And I am demanding answers from Michael here. I left him in charge. The weather was beautiful. I come back and it's frozen.
It's a winter wonderland. The first time I've seen snow on the local mountains here this low, quite a long time. It snowed in Sunland.
Yeah.
There's a town in Los Angeles called Sunland, and it snowed there.
Which is really not too far from here.
No, it is not. I drive by through Sunland every day on my way to work. And yesterday when I was driving, I'm like, that is snow on the ground in Los Angeles.
Yeah, no. I live up in the mountain, and then the balcony in the back, I looked out this morning. I left the dog out, and I went out there, and I'm like, wait a minute. Did the Alaska flight keep on going, and I'm in Nome now? I mean, it's like really weird. Anyway, we have a good show for you today. It's a great show. We're going to have for the travel segment. Are people becoming kind of, what can I say? Are people becoming a little bit less excited about the idea of travel and taking a little blasé attitude about it? We're going to discuss that. We're going to be discussing the role of the influencer. How is that working out today? There's been some news in the travel biz about that. It seems to me that the political scene here is still very much the same. You know what? We live in a wonderful country. I just came back from my native country, and it's beautiful. A lot of tourism, a lot of people having a good time. And then it seems to me that we are having a little bit of a problem moving forward here. Everything is a political mishmash. We need to cut it out, okay? We're going to be talking about the foodie world. There's innovation in the foodie world going full speed. We're going to be talking about that. And yes, we are going to actually revive the idea that we had about the curry contest. We kind of forgot about that because things happen, but we're going to bring it back because it's an important topic. We're going to be talking about taking charge of ourselves, mastering our possibilities. We're going to be talking about that. I had a lot of time to reflect on many things while I was away. And one of them is that you need to actually live in reality of what is happening around you and not let so much negative overpower your ideas, your train of thought. So with that in mind, Michael, are we ready to go to break?
Yeah, about 30 seconds.
Okay. Have you got to say anything? I mean, anything interesting?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about all that. It's been a while since we've hung out, so I'm looking forward to that. Maybe talk about that Chinese balloon for your Air Force background a little bit.
Yeah. All right, we'll be right back. Let's take a little bit of a break. Come back.
No more mold, no more damage, no more outdated old bathroom, no more slipping and hurting, no more stress. Make your ordinary bathroom extraordinary for only $99 per month. New shower, new door, new tub, new wall, new anti-slip technology. Be stress-free. Call 800-973-5411. BCI Bath and Shower is made in America for the highest quality. Ask about our military and senior discounts. Your dream bathroom in as little as one day. First 50 callers save $1,500 on a never clear glass treated door. Call now for free premium color upgrades. 800-973-5411. Call BCI Bath and Shower, the leader in bathroom remodeling. Be smart, safe, and stay a step ahead of inflation with our interest-free financing options. Call 800-973-5411. Love your bathroom with free upgrades. Call 800-973-5411. 800-973-5411.
All right. Like it or not, travel is actually a cultural exchange from us to the world to us. And I believe that we need to be really good ambassadors, not only as going someplace, but the people who are actually hosting us, they should be good ambassadors from their side too. And it seems to me that because of internet, social media, our world has become not only more compact, but in my opinion, a little bit more blasé for those who take to the road. Example, it used to be that if you went abroad, you kind of presented yourself at the airport neat, well prepared. It was a pleasure to go on board a plane and be hosted, but to the flight and whatnot. Today, I was actually very, very surprised while waiting for my flight back. And although I understand it was a midnight flight, it was actually took off at 12:30, 12:45, something like that in the morning. But does it really warrant for people to show up in their pajamas? I mean, what have you got to say about that?
Yeah, I see that all the time. I see that a lot with women and young girls where they'll show up to the flight, even if it's, 45-minute flight from Burbank to Oakland. They're in their PJs. They got a pillow. They got their blankie. They got their little stuffed animal. It's like, what are we doing here?
I know.
What are we doing?
It was kind of weird. While I was waiting, I went to the restaurant and whatnot there. And there was actually people from India. There was people from Southeast Asia, Germans, all over the world. And they all seemed to be, well-versed on neatness and whatnot. But then I ran across our own people. And my God, long, straggly hair for the guy. I guess the idea of having to take your shoes off at the immigration is a real chore because everybody's wearing these stupid flip-flops that have seen better days to begin with. And I'm looking at them and I'm going like, these people have not bathed in a long, long time. They have no idea that over there you can actually buy shampoo, It's like really weird. But then something happened. I'm on the aisle seat. There's a guy by the window, and a young woman came over and sat between us. And, I moved to the side. She walked in, and I'm like, oh. She was not smelling fresh. I mean, not smelling, I hate to say it, but
She had BO.
Bad BO. To the point that I guess I'm very expressive, and the cabin crew kind of noticed that, and lady come by and slips me 2 masks on this hand, on my left hand. And you know what? I hate wearing masks. I appreciated it this time, seriously. And I'm like, people they should have more pride in themselves. This girl probably was like 18, 19.
She an American?
Yeah, very pretty. very beautiful face, the whole thing. But unkept. I mean, I don't understand it. You know, it's. I had a little bit of a devil of a time with that, but anyway, the other thing is that what's with people and the super double stacks of backpacks, you know, one in the front, one in the back, carrying the two other ones. There is an invention out there that's called check in your luggage.
Yeah, I can't stand that. I can't stand when people just refuse to check their bags because they can't be bothered to wait the 5 minutes at the carousel.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand that, you know, certain people, especially if you're traveling for business, you know, if they lose your luggage, which could happen, you know, you don't have your suit for your meeting or whatnot, that could be trouble. But if you're traveling just for pleasure and you refuse to check your bags, especially if you have huge duffel bags, that's just a really selfish move.
I don't get it. I mean, like I said, now it used to be one backpack. Okay, so people walk in there and stuff this thing. Now they carry one in the front, and I'm like, don't the airlines take a look at this? I mean, there's hardly. Then all of a sudden, the bins up above are overstuffed, and the pilots cannot take off because we cannot close the bins, you know. So there's all this maneuvering. Shouldn't they do that at the counter?
Yeah, I totally. But I think the airline industry as a whole needs to share some of this blame as well, because there's certain airlines, especially the budget carriers, I can think of Spirit, for example, that charge you for check bags. So I think a lot of people think that if they check the bags, they're going to get charged.
Well, every bag, I mean, I paid $70 to bring 2 bags back. I paid $30 for one going down. So everybody charges. I mean, it's part of the deal. And the thing is that the tickets keep on going up and up and up. I mean, it's not like they consider lowering the pricing of the tickets. They don't give you food.
Yeah.
They don't, they sell it to you. Going down, I bought one of the little packed meals or whatever, a bag of olives and pretzels and some hummus and $12. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at, I mean, you know better than anybody, you know, with your background, but I mean, think of like when air travel first became ubiquitous, especially in the United States in the late 50s, early 60s, a ticket on an airplane was probably as much as like a month's salary. You know, $1,200 to fly from Los Angeles to New York City in 1969. And I mean, you know, back then, if you're spending $1,200, you're damn right you're going to put a suit on, because it's like you're going to the Oscars, you're going to, you know, a fancy restaurant. And, you know, now when you're paying, you know, you can catch a flight up to Oakland one way for $49 on Southwest. You know, it's pretty much just like getting an Uber. And so, you know, I think people expect, you know, to kind of get what they pay for.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, there is a lot of change. There is something that needs actually to be brought a little bit more under control, because planes are getting larger, and then they stuff more people in there. So at the end of the day, you're still larger plane, just as uncomfortable in certain areas of the plane. You know, going down to Costa Rica, I flew business, which was really nice. Coming back, I changed the flight so many times that when I finally decided on a date, there was no room on business. So I came on the premium side, free booze, no food, free booze. So anyway, we'll be right back and we'll talk a little bit more about this.
Experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury? If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422.
Now you can get generic Viagra shipped to your door for about $2 a pill. Get the same impact for less. Call Steelman Pills now and get the same blue pill for about $2 a pill. Call now for the 50-pill special and save even more. Plus, get a free bonus.
800-605-1683. 800-605-1683. 800-605-1683. That's 800-605-1683.
Hi, this is Fred Dreyer talking about my favorite Italian restaurant, Angelo's and Vinci's at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in downtown Fullerton. A fantastic place to eat. Come inside and dine in our Italian town square, complete with a 10-foot Christmas tree. That's right, 10 feet. Enjoy our food made from secret family recipes. Pasta, chicken, seafood, salads, and our delicious pizza. Incredible desserts, including my favorite, the tiramisu, flown directly in from Italy. Feel the spirit at Angelo and Vinci's, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022 or visit angelosandvincis.com. That's angelosandvincis.com.
Hi, everybody. Michael Horn along with Fred Dreyer here in the Sports Lounge. We look behind the scenes in the world of sports, do we not, Fred Dreyer?
We look behind and in front sometimes.
Really?
Yes.
Check them both out and you can see everything there. This isn't your show for sports scores. This is the show about the politics of sports.
We're not ripping and reading. We don't care about what the Phillies and the St. Louis Cardinals did in the third inning on a rainy day. Who cares? We're here to give you insight into a certain part of the sports world you don't normally see.
Wednesdays at 4 on CRN.
Alrighty, we happen to be back. Influencers. You know, I happen to be really probably one of the original influencers. So the idea of influencing when it comes to travel, when it comes to buying cars, when it comes to many things, food, restaurants, or whatever, is not a brand new happening right now. The only thing that is different is that today's influencers really, very few actually have a business sense about what they do. They have a value, but the fact is that many of them, a lot of these young people, are already past the point of being abusive. And I know that for a fact because I talk to a lot of people all of the time. These people are there to promote themselves and get revenue from what they post on social media. The fact is that if you are going to try to promote somebody's business, you need to provide them with return on investment. Because a lot of times these people, they travel for free and they take friends with them. So, you know, it can get expensive for a hotel to host somebody for a week when they're tied up to 3 rooms, meals and tours and you name it. Like I said, they do a good job because they do have a lot of following, but they're not producing what the people at the other side are looking for, which is sales. You know, I think if they can step back a little bit from what they do and develop a little bit of a business sense that is not only their own aggrandizement, they'll be able to be more appreciated, I think. what do you think about influencers?
Yeah, whenever I meet somebody, or I get resumes sometimes here, and it says previous work history, and it says influencer, I'm like, I don't know about this, because anybody can be an influencer just by calling themselves an influencer, and oftentimes people who are quote unquote influencers, especially when they're starting out, they don't have any actual relationships with these brands.
Right.
They're just hoping that that they keep posting about this particular brand, the brand's going to notice, and then they're going to get money somehow. That doesn't happen that way. You need to actually have a relationship with the brand and actually have a business plan, have sales contracts, have CPMs, have some sort of accountability about if what you're doing on social media is driving business towards that product. I mean, that's why you see so many times use this code word when you book, because they need to track where you actually found that out.
Yeah.
And so it's also one of those jobs that people just made up. Just make it up.
Well, like I said, you know what? Right now we're on air, and we're actually influencing somebody into paying attention to what we do and whatnot. So it is a valid job if you believe that I'm going to try to influence somebody to go to hotel brand X, but I'm going to put my money out there first and then show the people how I can use that. And, advertising in return, commission in return, many ways. In my 45 years of being in the travel business, I have never asked for a free trip.
Mm-hmm.
I've been invited to many things.
Yeah.
I've been on fam trips. I've been, because in the sales department, I do have a record. I have a track record. People recognize it. I had let it go for a while there, but now it's getting built up again. What happened is that I have a history of sales that goes back way back, and I can prove it. I've had my own company. I pay for my licenses. I pay for advertising, I pay for everything, So I can prove it, and I can build up on that. Many years ago, when the computers first started coming out and the little small cameras started coming out, everybody became a videographer or a writer. And we used to get inundated with requests. I'm going to go write a book. I'm going to write a movie. I'm going to make a film. It's not as easy as just that, you have to have a history. So anyway, let's take a little bit of a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about food. Yeah, foodie, that's right. And then the balloon. All right.
Let's talk about your credit cards. When you first start using them, it's a slow drip. You make charges, then more charges, then bills come, and they keep coming. When you open your statements, the floodgates come pouring in. You realize you have more credit card debt than you can afford, and you're barely making the minimum payments. Wouldn't it be nice to make one affordable payment and have all your credit card bills covered? Make this free call and learn our responsible way to get your credit card bills paid and under control.
Sponsored by Consumer Education Services, a nonprofit organization.
800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. That's 800-876-3643.
CESI is not a loan company. The establishment of a debt management plan may adversely affect your credit rating. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase finance and other charges to undertake collection activity, including liquidation.
Think of the many sacrifices it took to establish and to preserve liberty in the United States. Think of the many generations that went before us, that spilled blood to preserve that liberty, our freedoms. And look at how long it took, not very long, for us to lose many of those liberties. One flu season together with lockdowns galore, and so many of those liberties just slipping away. In the United States today, we see an American government that is weakening abroad, even as it oppresses its people at home. We discuss this and so much more on our program, The Trumpet Daily. We're live weekday mornings at 11 a.m. Central Time in the United States. You can listen at CRN Digital Radio, Channel 3, or watch the live video stream at our website, thetrumpet.com.
What are you so happy about? I'm on the pill. Aren't you two a bit old to worry about having more kids? Not her, me. You lost me there, buddy. Steelman pills. Things weren't always looking up, if you catch my drift. So, my doctor prescribed me a little something. Like Viagra? Yeah, but that's expensive, and it wasn't covered by my insurance. Steelman pills cost me less than $3 a pill, and virtually the same effect. I just called and got over 40 pills for only $99. I have this friend who might be looking and... Well, if your friend wants some help, the consultation is free over the phone. No clinic. Steelman Pills sends it in the mail in a confidential package. I'm on it. I mean, my friend will be on it.
Steelman Pills, going the extra mile to help men with erectile dysfunction.
800-605-1683. 800-605-1683. 800-605-1683. That's 800-605-1683.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644.
All right, welcome back to Lifestyle Buzz with your pal Orly at the very mighty CRN Network, the one-stop best source for great entertainment. There, foodie time. Food has become transformational by providing a new dimension to cultural cuisine. Some people feel that that may be blasphemy, but a welcome change for others. I don't really know why people are so sometimes adamant about change. You feel that maybe...
Like, give me an example.
Shoot.
Like people are they're reticent to change. Are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
mean, you know what I mean? Like a certain foods. Let's say that all of a sudden somebody comes over. Let's say beef stew. You know, the traditional beef stew is beef, carrots, and whatever. You know, but then here comes some really guy that's looking at it. And he loves beef stew, and he adds chicken to it or something else. You know. A little bit different seasoning, a little bit more spice, whatever. Still beef stew, you know, but some people go like, oh, well, no, that's not beef stew. It's just beef stew with a twist, which is good too, you know. It should be explored, no?
Absolutely. I mean, how would any cuisine evolved if you don't make any changes to it? I mean, you can still, it's not like we're saying that you can't have your beef stew ever again the way you like it.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying, because I was reading about all the young chefs today. They're all about fusion, and they're all about reinventing things, you know, which is, it's exciting. I think it's great, because if you happen to like a steak grilled medium rare, you can have that anytime.
Well, let me cue you in on something here, folks, is that most of the food that you're eating is some sort of fusion. I mean, maybe that fusion happened 100 years ago. For example, if you're an American and you like Chinese food, you're eating Chinese American food. You're not eating Chinese food. There's no orange chicken in Beijing.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you're eating orange chicken, it's because that's a kind of a fusion between American food and Chinese food from the early 20th century.
Well, one time we went to going through Mexico, and I ordered a burrito in Mexico City. And they looked at me and they go like, that's an American dish. We don't have it here. They didn't have. So you think that maybe that balloon from China is that they're delivering Chinese food, maybe?
I would appreciate that. You know, I think that'd make a very efficient delivery system.
I think so. Directly from China.
Directly from, yeah. I mean, if they can send you some actual, you know, Cantonese food, which is delicious, which you can sometimes, you can't get you can get out here in Los Angeles because we have a huge Cantonese population. But yeah, I mean, I think actually if that balloon which was flying over, you know, the middle of America, Billings, Montana, where I doubt they have, you know, really the traditional Szechuan style Chinese food, that might open some horizons.
You know, maybe they were looking for a landing spot where they can just deliver and then spread it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, and maybe we should send a balloon over there with some hamburgers and some KFC and drop it off for China, and that'd be kind of a cross-cultural exchange.
You know, you're starting something here. What do you think about that balloon? I mean, that's kind of...
That was pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. We talk a lot about this show sometimes, you know, how there's so much that divides us in this country. Mm-hmm. And, you know, like it or not, when that footage was released by the DOD and also from local bystanders, when that balloon was shot down, that I kind of felt a little proud to be American that day. You know, there hasn't been any air-to-air, you know, kills since I believe Gulf War I. This was the first air-to-air engagement and kill of a F-22 Raptor, the most advanced fifth-generation plane in the world. And what was hilarious to me is the whole balloon thing happens, and so then NORAD, which is responsible for our air defense out here, their antenna was up for all these balloons. And then I don't know if you guys remember, you know, a couple days later, 2 days later, 2 other balloons were shot down. Mm-hmm. Those were not Chinese surveillance balloons. Those were weather balloon. One was a weather balloon, and one was a balloon launched
from a kid's.
Yeah, from like a kid's balloon society.
Yeah.
And so here you have this F-22, the most advanced fifth-generation fighter in the world, firing an AIM-9X Sidewinder missile, which costs $500,000 a pop, taking out a $120 balloon.
Somebody's toy. Yeah, you know. That's life as what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, you know, there's been very, very many emergencies, and one of the things, though, is that sometimes we are here, we're talking about food because food is actually something that brings people together, no matter what. You can sit at a table and discuss everything and eat something, and all of a sudden everybody's immersed in that dish that you're going through, and some people go like, oh, that's a little too spicy for me or whatever, but there's a conversation going all the time. We talked about the balloon, and right away we're going like Chinese food, because the world is small enough to where we really, as humans, we appreciate everything that it has, you know. Things like this happen, all of a sudden people are like grumpy with each other, blah, 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 blah. Something like this happens and everybody feels that pride, you know? So I think that we should keep that energy going all of the time and realize that as human beings, we are all the same. You know, we all have the same fears, we have the same loves, we have the same passions, we have the same apprehensions about things.
Yeah, and the same kind of wonderment and excitement and experiences, both old and new. I mean, we talked about the snow in the opening of the show.
Yeah.
When I was driving, you know, on the 210 through La Tuda Canyon, where there was snow on the ground, people were pulling over, and you know, like a lot of different people, truck drivers, families, you know, regular people pulling over to the side of the road to like kind of play in the snow a little bit. And so when they're driving, you see all these people, you know, because we think of Angelinos as being all hurried and, you know, and there people are talking to complete strangers and having little impromptu snowball fights and impromptu snowman making sessions. And so, yeah, I mean, there's far more that unites us than divides us.
Yeah. Anyway, explore food. Foods are great. Treat us to some.
Yeah, send us some Chinese food.
Yeah, send us some Chinese food. Not by balloon, just deliver it. We'll be right back.
When you really want Italian food, you have got to get to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Today, it seems so hard to enjoy just a little bit of easy. So much of life seems to get in the way. But fear not, seekers of fabulous food and fun and thrill. Columbo's is Southern California's answer to easy street. Great grub with some of the finest steaks, the freshest fish awaiting for you to devour. Did I mention Columbo's family Italian recipes? Columbo's spaghetti bolognese, their chicken pesto ravioli, magnifico, and of course, the world's greatest meatballs. I can go on. But why go on when you can go on over to Columbo's and experience delicious and easy for yourself? Columbo's, of course, that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, mangia bene.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
Oh, before I go into the next segment, fun fact, if you really want to explore with foods and make it easy and all of that, there is a lot of publications and stuff like that that teach you how to make omelets. And they are exciting and fun to deal with. And it's more than just eggs. I mean, the stuff that you can do with them, you can stuff them, you can do all kinds of things with them. So read up on it. It's all, everything's in the internet today.
Yeah, YouTube's a really good resource too for anything cooking related. Omelets too. You know, there's so many different styles. Like there's the French style, which is kind of rolled up. There's the more American style, which is overstuffed, some might say.
Yeah.
You know, you go to Europe a lot of times, like, and you order an omelet, nothing comes in it.
Yeah.
Maybe some herbs, maybe some chives, but it's not necessarily about, you know, what's in the omelet. It's actually just how the omelet is cooked itself. It's very rare to find, you know, anything inside an omelet in Europe.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just a fun dish to deal with all the time. You know. Anyway, I'm not a medical expert. I'm as flawed as many others have. I have had plenty of downs in my life, yet I happen to be an eternal optimist that feels the best is always yet to come, you know? And one of the things that I like to do is just share that feeling, not because I'm trying to convince you to be like me at all, but the fact is that if you really digest your inner self, you realize that your background, your skin color, gender, and any other excuse being used today for being unhappy are really not that solid, ingrained in who you are. I mean, the whole thing is about feeling positive, thinking strong about your future, and sharing. The other thing is that people have lost that feeling about communications with other people. Do you feel that maybe that's am I off the wall?
No, I think you're making a good point. Yeah, I think a lot of people just don't talk to each other in person anymore. You know, even phone calls. Like I know a lot of people who just won't take phone calls anymore. It's all text, email, social media interactions.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, right now they're even saying if you want to apply for a job, text. And I'm like, that's as personal as anything can get. So there's a sense of people appreciating anonymity all of a sudden, and I am going back to my old methods of doing things, where I believe in the phone call, I believe in setting up an appointment, I believe in going to meet with somebody and let them see who I am, and then they can hear what I have to offer, you know. I tried it while I was away back home, Costa Rica. And the funny thing is that some people made, you could have WhatsApp me. Because that's the new thing over there. Everything is WhatsApp. And I said, yes, I could, but you know what? It doesn't really, seeing a picture of who you are or whatever doesn't really do much for me.
Yeah, we had a conference call scheduled with a vendor of ours, and they wanted to do it over Cisco WebEx, which is like Zoom pretty much. And what's the purpose of that? Yeah. I mean, what's the purpose of that rather than just doing a regular phone call or even an in-person meeting? I mean, this vendor is like a mile away from us. Yeah. I think it's a lot of times is people want to show off their toys, and you know, especially the IT departments, they want to show off their toys. And so they're like, oh, we have this great setup with this camera and this professional sounding audio. Let's do this Zoom meeting that's going to be like 10 minutes. That could have either been A, even done over email, or B, just done over the phone, rather than, you know, having to, you know, I have to deal with this a lot. You know, if one person wants to do the meeting on Zoom or on WebEx or something like that, then everybody needs to be up to speed on all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And sorry, folks, there's a lot of people out there that are pretty, you know, not necessarily technologically savvy. Yeah. And so, a 10-minute conference call actually turned into an hour-long conference call because I had to spend about 40 minutes getting two other parties who are going to be on this conference call to figure out how they use Cisco WebEx.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But, I mean, if a total stranger wants to apply for a position here and they need to talk to you, they can send you photos, they can send you whatever. And it's a lot different if you say, yeah, let's meet at 2:00, and you see the person coming through the door. There's more of an impact when you meet somebody person to person.
Oh yeah, well, like when someone or especially if it's a prospective hire, and if they're like, well, it's just way easier for me to do it over Zoom. That's just telling me so you're really not interested in getting this job. You're more interested in what's easiest for you.
Yeah. No, a lot of people need to understand that there is a hidden language that you need to kind of learn to master. And one of them, I mean, I'm old enough to be able to forego all of the technology because I've been doing business now for 50 years, maybe more. There was no computer when I started. There was no cell phones. There was no, there was a fax and there was a telex at the moment, So, and the phone. And then you drove and drove and drove and you went and you met and, that's it. So my whole thing is open up yourself. Don't get locked up in technology. You have a great personality, use it and succeed. That's it. Okay? We'll be right back.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Sponsored by Specialty Medical. 800-846-2153. 800-846-2153. 800-846-2153. That's 800-846-2153.
Hi, this is Fred Dwyer talking about my favorite Italian restaurant, Angelo's and Vinci's at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in downtown Fullerton. A fantastic place to eat. Come inside and dine in our Italian town square, complete with a 10-foot Christmas tree. That's right, 10 feet. Enjoy our food made from secret family recipes. Pasta, chicken, seafood, salads, and our delicious pizza. Incredible desserts, including my favorite, the tiramisu, flown directly in from Italy. Feel the spirit at Angelo and Vinci's, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022 or visit angelosandvincis.com. That's angelosandvincis.com.
Do you remember Herbert W. Armstrong? Do you remember his magazine, The Plain Truth? His television program, The World Tomorrow? The one and only possible message of world peace?
Tomorrow. Now we're living in the most serious, the most momentous times of the history of this world.
Those who heard Herbert W. Armstrong speak remember the depth of thought, the clarity of expression, and the power of his message. He spoke for God. God warned this world through Herbert W. Armstrong, and he gave hope to this dying world through Herbert Armstrong. What happened to that ministry? What happened to that message? We discuss this and so much more on our program, The Trumpet Daily. We're live weekday mornings at 11 a.m. Central Time in the United States. You can listen at CRN Digital Radio, Channel 3, or watch the live video stream at our website, thetrumpet.com.
All right, welcome back. Michael, we had made plans for a curry dish. Are we still, but you know, it was towards the end of the year, it was a time element there. Should we invent something else or should we continue?
I could do something else. Any suggestions? How about I could do pizza? I could do, so it's for our listeners who may not know, we did a challenge, a steak challenge earlier in the year.
Right.
And which was quite nice. And so, yeah, I mean, what do you think? I mean, pasta, we can do whatever. What are we thinking? What do you want?
Yeah, I mean, I had thought that the curry thing was something that was very appreciative, you know. But I actually got a lot of flack from everybody because it's a dish that if you like it, you like it. And if it's not that, it's very wide and yet very narrow. Not a lot.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't make it. Right. A lot of people are intimidated to make it because a lot of curries have a lot of ingredients and a lot of ingredients that are not necessarily easy to find in your local supermarket.
Okay. Well, so we just chuck it up to the fact that I have a faulty brain chip and I forgot all about it.
It was a great, it's you know, a lot of things happen in the interim, but yeah, I mean, I'm willing to do, why don't we do a pasta?
Pasta?
Yeah, because I think a lot of people, you know, cook pasta at home. It's relatively easy. I mean, you can make it hard if you want, but I mean, you know.
Okay, a pasta dish and a little salad complement with it. How much time element are we going to give ourselves?
Let's do 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks in 2 weeks.
I can go for that.
All right. Okay. we'll check in on about it next week, and we'll see what our progress looks like. And
okay, it could be any, as long as it's pasta, it could be from ravioli to whatever, or what?
It could be stuffed pasta. It could be, as humble as mac and cheese, and it can be as ornate as, some sort of crazy Italian seafood pasta.
The humbleness of the mac and cheese can get actually pretty expensive.
You put some lobster on there and saffron and all that kind of stuff.
Come on. Pasta, 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay. Sounds good to me. Anyway, there's a lot of new stuff coming down the pike here. I'm very excited that things have actually matured as far as me personally. I had some issues to deal with that were kind of like heavy set. And I cleared my mind. I put my debt to rest. What can I say? It was a very difficult situation that I went through, but it kind of gave me closure. And now I can concentrate on the business at hand. And the business at hand is making sure that Lifestyle Buzz and Lux Travel move forward at the speed of light and benefit all the listeners. I mean, everything that I plan on doing is in order to enhance what we do for my people out there. So, it's not a selfish move at all. It's actually something that, because I appreciate all of you, I love to do. Michael, last words.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back, and we're looking forward to having some good shows coming in the new year, and hopefully we'll see some sunshine next week as well.
Are you sure?
Well, actually, the forecast says we're having another storm arriving on Tuesday. So,
thank you. All right, just stay dry, have a good time. We'll see you next week.